Okay, wonderful. I'm actually going to do a Canon lens review. Actually, believe it or not, I actually know of quite a few really good Canon lenses, and the only reason why I don't actually own Canon gear is number one, I've got many hundreds of lenses literally, and like 18 cameras, and I never liked Canon DSLR cameras. Still don't hate them. They're inferior in autofocus, and their dynamic range is kind of crappy. I am a fan of some Canon glass. Anyway, this is a review of the 135mm f2 EF Canon lens, which I'm actually using right now with a Fringer, the new Fringer Pro adapter on the X-T30 Fujifilm camera. I've also used it today on the X-T3. These are some of the images you want to look at them on a Flickr as adapted. It's interesting metadata, of course, on Flickr. It says Fujifilm X-T3 and a Canon EF 135. By the way, the review for this Fringer adapter is in the next video. I actually thought it would be comparable to the 135mm f2 DC Nikkor, which I am extremely familiar with, but it's not. It's actually infinitely better, and that lens is absolutely incredible. There's a few things that actually shocked me about this lens. I knew this lens was legendary good, and I've seen more than a few images over the years from this lens. And this lens, by the way, new is $1,000. I think you can get a gray market for $800 or something. Used, they go for like $580 or something like that. It's a low element count. It is an older lens, not that that means a single damn thing. This lens is not only insanely sharp, the saturation is completely off the scale into outer space. The puffy pastel bokeh on this lens is absolutely crotch melting. This lens is silk section sugar. It's the cat's ass, the bee's knees. It's just, it's absolutely effing amazing. This lens is just the tits and then some. It's impossible to imagine any Canon owner not owning this lens. It's just absolutely impossible. If I were someone that liked Canon cameras, which I don't, this would certainly be a lens. By the way, I'm also certain, because Canon cameras are kind of legendary for lack of dynamic range, and their autofocusing system on their DSLRs, well, I mean, compared to Nikon or Fujifilm, absolutely sucks. I'm absolutely certain, even though this image is being cropped, that this lens is performing at a higher rate of its capabilities on, by the way, this is a cheap $900 Fujifilm X-T30. It's performing better on this camera than a multi-thousand dollar Canon, you know, the flagship Canon. What is it? The X1D, isn't that it? The X1D, another, that camera's long in the tooth. My God, the detail on this lens is just absolutely incredible. I did all sorts of lighting shots with the, not that image, that's not it. Some other pastel stuff. All these images, by the way, are straight out of camera, unedited. You think, oh my God, you really drug the saturation slider on these images, didn't you? And actually, I went straight from camera up to Flickr on these, every single one of them. They're unbelievable. Even though this is a Canon lens, and I've always said I actually liked some Canon glass. I just don't review it because I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lenses and tons of cameras, and I don't need another damn camera system. I'm not fond of Canon DSLRs. I just, you know, they're pretty sucky. I don't like them. My God, though, this lens is just, you know, irrespective of who made it, whether it be Fujifilm, Zeiss, Voigtlander, Nikon, or it doesn't matter. This lens, just from simplex output, is easily top 20 lenses that I would ever own, like of everything, whether it be portraiture. By the way, this is this is the lens that Fujifilm is missing, the 135mm f2. If Fujifilm made a lens like this, with this, I mean, just like this, except it's got Fujifilm's name on it. Oh my God, but I mean, this is an autofocus lens now with the Fringer adapter, and it works really well. There is a little bit of hunting in extremely bright situations. I'll talk about that in the review on this Fringer adapter, but this lens gets a 10 out of 10 across the board in every way imaginable. An absolute, of all lenses for any camera ever made, I would easily classify this as definitely my favorite top 20 lenses of all time, period, ever, period. Doesn't matter whether it's portraiture, wide angle, telephoto. Doesn't matter who made it, Voigtlander, Zeiss, Fujifilm, Nikon. I don't give a damn. This lens is just absolutely the effing bomb. This lens is the effing bomb. Period. Absolutely crotch melting, ungodly fucking believable. Excuse my language. I'm actually going to get, I know where there's a used copy of this, and since I have the Fringer adapter now, I'm actually going to buy this lens. Right now I'm just borrowing this lens off of a really nice guy. His name is Dawn, out at Murphy's Camera. He let me borrow this lens. Been using it. Well, anyway, that's just, this lens is really stunning. Absolutely unbelievable. Did not think it would be that much better than the already incredible 135mm f2 DC Nikkor. This lens is definitely considerably sharper than that lens. The bokeh is better, and the bokeh on the 135 f2 is incredible. This lens is definitely better. You see there? You see how unbiased, because I take lens reviews seriously. Do you see how unbiased I was just there? I just basically said this stomps on the balls of the Nikkor equivalent. Did you, let me repeat that again. This lens stomps all over the crotch of the Nikkor equivalent. Okay? That's how seriously I take lens review. I don't play favors for Nikon. I do hate Canon DSLRs. I don't like Canon DSLRs. For many valid reasons, but this lens is just un-effing believable. 10 out of 10. If you're a Canon user, you absolutely should own this. If you don't, then you're an idiot. This lens is incredible. That's straight out of camera, too. Unedited straight out of camera. Usually you got to drag the saturation slider with like a shitty Sigma lens to get anything that looks like that. Anyway, amazing. So that's it. That's my short and sweet review of the Canon EF 135mm f2. One of the finest lenses ever made. You can't disagree with me, because if you do, you're an idiot, because I've got way more experience than you do on lenses. This lens is incredible. Almost makes me wish I was stupid enough to like Canon DSLRs, but not enough. Thanks to the Fringer adapter, this almost sounds like a commercial plug. Thanks to the Fringer adapter, I can now use this lens with really good autofocus on my Fujifilm. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Fujifilm. But love the Canon glass. Did I make myself clear? Thank you, mic drop.